Alright there guys, and welcome back to a brand new video, and this is going to be a controversial one. As you can tell from the title, I'm going to be talking about why, in my opinion, Vinland Saga was disappointing. Of course, in 2019, Vinland Saga was getting praise from everywhere in the anime community. And I finally, at the very start of this year, got around to watching it. And I don't really see why it's getting all the praise that it is. So let's get into why. First, let's get into what's good about the show. Number one, the animation. But of course it is. I mean, for God's sake, it's mid to late 2019, I think, when it started. So of course the animation is gonna look good, look amazing. And the brutality and the way the show portrays how the Vikings lived back 1,000 years ago and how brutal times were then, that the way they portray that is done very well. That show is incredibly brutal, but accurate. But let's get into my reasons of why I'm not that big of a fan of Vinland Saga. Number one, the person we thought was going to be the main character, Thors, who is known as the strongest Viking in the world. He's bigged up to be a Viking that is stronger than everyone else, yet within the first few episodes, he's already killed off by nine arrows in various parts of his body. I get it, 9 arrows probably would kill anybody if they were all shot into you at the same time, but he was bigged up from the very start of the show. He was stronger than everyone. Everybody always came to him if they needed to take, if there was going to be a war. He was always the first person the people in the village he lived in went to. And he's killed so quickly. I understand it's used for the plot and the story. He's meant to be killed off. But it's not like he even got killed in a battle. He was in a battle at the time, but the person he was fighting wasn't the person that killed him, as he was currently battling Askeladd, and he is a pretty important character throughout the show. But he is just killed by 9 archers, just way high up on a ledge, just shoot their arrows down to Thor's ship and kills him. It's not like him and Askeladd had a great battle, and then when Thor thought he'd beaten Askeladd came round and just took Thor's down. It's not like that even happened. He was killed. The way he died was so pitiful. It's not like he was even taken down well. Like, he just let it happen. He didn't put up a fight against the archers in the end. He did at the start using a shield, but he didn't keep that continuously. Now let's get into the second reason this show is disappointing. Thors Son, who is called Thorfinn. God, I don't know why if anybody likes him. Thorfinn is possibly one of the most one-dimensional characters I've ever seen in any anime. Like, my God, does this guy have pretty much zero character development throughout the whole show. Well, that's at least how I feel when I was watching it, that Thorfinn never, and I mean never, had any character development. When he sees that Askeladd is the reason Thors has been killed, Thorfinn decides to join Askeladd, but not because he wants to be on part of his crew, but because he wants to duel him and take vengeance for the death of his father, which makes sense. But that's the only thing he ever cares about throughout the whole show. Literally, just he wants to do I want to duel Askeladd. I want to duel Askeladd. I want to duel Askeladd. That's literally it. There's no more to his character than that. When he meets the prince of a different country later on, he only protects him because Askeladd is doing the same, and he wants to duel him. So he does anything. So he does some deeds that Askeladd asks him to do in order to keep him in his crew so he can duel him. But every goddamn thing Thorfinn does is for one reason. That he wants so he can duel Askeladd. And he duels him multiple times throughout the show and doesn't beat him once. He loses every single duel he has with Askeladd. So not only is that the only thing he cares about in the entire show, and there is almost no character development whatsoever with him, but the one thing that he wanted to do, he didn't even succeed in doing that. Even when he fought against Thorkeld, who was known as the strongest Viking after Thors. So really, he is the strongest now, since Thors is now dead. And he's the best character in the show for me. He's the only character that actually has character development. Askeladd, whenever he sends out Thorfinn on a mission, he doesn't even care if he lives through the mission or dies. Thorkeld is the only character that actually has character development in that show for me. He starts to care for Thorfinn. He wants to fight Thorfinn, but he also cares for him. As in, he never wants other people to hurt him, so he can fight him at full strength. And worst of all, Askeladd dies without even dueling Thorfinn one final time. So Thorfinn doesn't even kill Askeladd at the end. The whole point of that show is pretty much for Thorfinn to duel Askeladd and kill him to get revenge for his father and avenge him after Askeladd's archers killed Thors. But that doesn't even happen. So the entire goal of the show isn't even a success. And you think, and it's revealed later on that Thorkeld is actually related to Thorfinn. I mean, Thorkeld, they have kind of similar sounding names, but not really. But yeah, that's a big lack of character development is a huge issue with this show, and I don't see anyone talking about that. Maybe you guys can tell me that there is actually character development within that show, but Thors doesn't have any, Askeladd doesn't have any, Thorfinn has the least of anybody. He's a one-dimensional, one-minded character throughout the entire show. And the way he's always pestering Askeladd is so annoying to hear. It doesn't make you think, ooh, are they finally going to duel? No, it doesn't make you feel like it's like, oh god, Thorfinn. Actually do something else. Think about something else other than dueling Askeladd. That's not the only thing that exists. He's not the only person that exists in the world. Yes, I'm aware he's the one that he's the reason your father is dead. But the fact that you only care about avenging him makes him treat everyone else like dirt. But yet the anime community seems to think this show was amazing. I mean, hell, it was nominated for quite a few awards for the Crunchyroll Anime Awards that, as far as I'm aware, if I remember correctly, they will be getting announced. The winner of every category will be getting announced this month. So, maybe I'll make a video on that like I did last year. And maybe I won't, it depends. Well, it depends if there's any if there's quite a few controversial picks, then sure, I'll talk about it. But yeah, even though this has been for an explanation and analysis video on why I think Vinland Saga was disappointing, it's been quite short, but those two reasons are the two defining factors for me of why Vinland Saga is not actually that good. So that will be the end of the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, follow me on all my social medias, and until next time guys, catch you later.